I don't have it programmed now. Don't like this.
I think it depends on which side it's really folded across. Because if you do it from there,
It's really rare that two teams hit it at exactly the same time. No, this changes every year. Last year's called Nano Class. It's a different set of missions last year. It changes from work to
That's showing how many points each part is worth.
At least two, we know, various places. And then the championship will be in the Were you in last year? No. You are.
It's on the website there. It's on the website, which you can print it out.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is put it on a CD form.
Okay, for those who came in, I'll try to do this again if my voice holds out. So, I'm Jack Motley, I'm the tournament director, and I'm going to assume people have sort of know what Lego League is about, so I won't go through all the full description of it. So put those back in there for just a second and let's talk through things. First of all, this year, base is over here on the side. As you know, at a tournament, there will be another table over on that other side there, just rotated around 180 degrees, exactly like this. So the other base will be directly across from me. And let's talk through the missions. Let's just go through around sort of counterclockwise here. So, first of all, this year we also have designated a parking lot. You can put, some pieces will start out either in the base or in the parking lot. You can touch things there, but you cannot have your robot pick things up there or start from the parking lot. The robot always has to start from in base. You can move things out of the way to allow your robot to travel through the parking lot. That's fine, but it can't start from the parking lot. It has to start from in base. Okay? So, the various missions. The mission rules are all put up over there. It's a little more complicated than last year, so I'm still having to refer to the rules myself to keep everything straight. We'll talk through some of them. One of them is, on the drilling platform over here, is to remove the barrels from the platform. You can do it by pulling them off. You can also pull down on this piece right here and dump them off. You could dump them into a catcher to be able to bring them back to base, whatever you want to. But you get the points for just getting them off of the platform. They will be loaded in white, red, white, but in that order, by the way. Okay? It'll be set up just like that. The other, going on around here, at the house over here, we have the personal vehicle choice to start with. I'll get to that. And that is to deliver the hydrogen-powered car to the house. This way. Somewhere onto the property of the house, and you have to remove the red pickup truck from the property and either return it to base to be recycled or deliver it to the farm to be repurposed for real farm use instead of personal use. Okay? So it either comes back here or it goes out to the farm. You have to do both of those to get the points for the vehicle choice. Okay.
And the car starts from in the parking lot.
The car is over here. It may be in the parking lot, but would have to start out with if your robot is pushing it, would have to start in the base.
So you can move it from the parking lot to the base, but you can't push it out of the parking lot. Is that correct?
You cannot push it.
Like if our robot is starting in the base, can the car be in the parking lot?
When you start your robot, if it has anything attached or connected to it, it has to be in base also. Okay. So I cannot put it here and have my robot behind it and starting out. The thing that it's attached to also has to be in base. Okay. So, and I can't put it here and have my robot come out and pick it up. That's not allowed. It needs to be in the base when it starts out. Okay. So that needs to go over there. This needs to come back. Another mission that involves a house is to have the solar panel put on the roof of the house. The ideal thing would be to have it here, but that is on by FLL definitions, or even that would be on the roof of the house. It's supporting its own weight under gravity. It's on the roof of the house. So again, ideally it would be there. Okay. next mission around, if you can put those things back up for me, please. Put the center one up first. Here. Is to deploy the solar panels on the solar power satellite, and that is done by just pushing on the red bar there, and whichever team gets theirs first, the white things point towards them, you get a bonus 5 points for getting it pointing toward you, and you got 15 points for panel down, 5 points for being the first one to do it. There's already been a question and answer on the internet question and answer panel about if I go over and figure out a way to pull that back over to my side, will I get the points for having it pointing toward me? The answer was no. The referee will know which one is pointing at first, and that's what we're giving points for, and you will not get the extra points for that. So don't bother. Okay. Yeah.
Back over here with those, the white, red, and white.
Right.
Are there any point differentials for the red or the white?
For getting them off the platform, no. You just get 10 points for getting them off the platform, period.
All of them have
to come off, and you get 10 points for it.
Gotcha.
Once at the end, there will be penalties for having oil barrels in the water or on property that has houses on them. So it'd be great if you can collect them and bring them back to base somehow. But you get points for just getting them off the platform. Okay, so did the solar power satellite. I'm going to skip over the power plant for the moment. There's other things to do with that. Let's go on to this one. This one over here is called the uranium. Greenish yellow things are uranium. The red one is uranium also. And you get points for moving those off the farm property. So you move it across the river, but moving it off the property gets you 15 points. Okay, moving out of the farm, literally. Okay.
So this whole section is considered.
This whole thing, all the white up to the blue, is considered the farm. So it has to get at least into the river. Okay, to get off the farm. Okay. The next one over here is the corn harvesting. You have to bring the corn back to base to harvest it. And that's all three of these, including the red one, somehow. You need to get back to base. But you don't, it takes energy to harvest corn. So you only get points for that if you also deliver at least 1 barrel of oil to the farm. It could be by just putting one out there. It could have been by putting the truck out there, because the truck has oil barrels in it. So that would have been okay. You would have had the oil there to do the corn harvest with.
That's why we're taping it.
Okay, so read all the directions. Read all there are little bits and ifs and ands and buts on this thing. Sure. Okay, so the corn harvest has to be done. Your coal mining over here. You need to release the coal so that it can roll down the railway. Once it touches the bumpers, you must pick up the coal car by hand and put it in base, and that gives you the 10 points for the coal mining. Yes, 10 points.
Any penalties if some coal hops out?
No penalty if you spill some of the coal there. There's nothing about that. Okay.
You said you can pick it up by hand, or does the robot?
No, you must pick it up by hand.
Catch it once then?
That's just too close to the base at that point. Pick it up by hand. Okay. Okay, now the things that we need to take from base and put out there. There are 2 wind turbines that must be delivered. They must be touching the white, not immediately outside of base. Okay. This point right there, this part is immediately outside of base, so that would not count. It must be not immediately outside of base, so that would be okay. Over here would be okay. But that's not okay because that's immediately outside of base. Okay. So any of those things, and it must be touching white. It can be on the house, that's okay, it's still touching white, not immediately outside of base. And those are 15 points each. They have to be upright, they have to be, it's worth 15 points each. Okay?